Hi, Novacotton here, and welcome to the second episode of the Grow With Me series here on YouTube. Now, something really sad happened. I don't know how to explain it, but, well, look at the footage.
What we have here all SpeedRunSeeds. Nothing in my neighborhood. You son of a bitch, you never come here again, you bitch mother.
I think I'm a victim of a hate crime. So I had to get a new seed growing since, because my plant got killed. But there she is! Amethyst Frost Haste. That's what I call it anyways. And man, she is going really fast. This is the second day so far. And I'm loving everything about this seed. She's kicking ass. Oh god, look at her. She's beautiful. Now, for this one, I decided to add some silica. Some Grow Genius silica. And I'm going to be using 0.1 milliliter of this stuff per gallon, and I might even use a tiny bit less. I don't have to go crazy, it's a seedling stage, but I wanted to try it out and see how it goes, and I'm going to show you what I did before I even potted this girl. So we're going to mix this up a little bit, and I always start with silica first before I add any of the newts, and we're going to move on to my concentrate of Cropsalt, and I use this newt needle that will help me. It has milliliters on the side right here, and I'm gonna grab maybe 20 milliliters per gallon. Yeah, that'll be what I add of part A and part B. Just make sure to shake these up before you start, driving some of it out. And we're gonna do the same, 20 milliliters. And that's it, we mix it up. Make sure, to do it really good. Now we're gonna move on to pHing the water, okay? And this is a very important part. A lot of people mess up in this part, and here, I'm just gonna verify the pH already in the water. And remember, to have your pH up and pH down ready, I like to mix a little water to dilute it. That way when you add it, it's not a huge leap. It doesn't go too high or too low. It's more manageable. For me, if I'm starting from a high pH, I always stop at 5.7. That'll let me know that I'm getting very close to where I want it to be, 5.8. And from there, I just leave it and watch it go up. It'll let me know if it's at 5.8, which is what I want it. I always pour it also into this sprayer that I have from acinfinity. I really like this thing. I fill it up, and this is what I'm going to use to basically prime my cocoa over there. So that's going to be the difference between the last time. I'm going to just add that in right now. So I'm just going to water this down, and that's why I use this sprayer, because I don't want to just dump all this. I want to make sure everything is moist and everything is evenly getting covered by what I'm adding, which is a seedling mix. And well, it's what I call the seedling mix. I've tried half and half, but this is more stronger than the last one, and hopefully it all goes well. Unless Fast Buds Mario comes again and kills my plant, which I don't know what I'm gonna do if that happens. After actually 12 hours, my seed is sprouted and she's ready to go. And really, I'm very excited with this one. You can see the tip of the tail right there. Yep. And she's already getting ready to come out of it, so I'm gonna make a hole. Okay, and now I'm gonna just gently cover her with the cocoa around. Let's go. Alright, she's done. So I'm gonna just cover this up, and now I am ready Remember to keep everything kind of relatively humid, you know? So if you have it at 77 Fahrenheit, you want it at 75% humidity. You can always confirm with a VPD chart. And she looks really happy. Now this one is Granite Haze F5 with Purple Punch and Ice Latte, but I call her Amethyst Frost Haze. This is very exciting to have this one because I don't even know what she's supposed to smell like or taste, so it's gonna be fun. Now one of our viewers had a question and he says, you don't top water at all, even at seedling stage? That is a very good question. I tend to keep it moist and I don't always water too much, but when I do, I make sure to just stay close to the inner circle and I don't overwater it to the point where it's over a gallon, because you're basically flushing. And speaking of flushing, who better to talk about that than my friend and pal, Pushing Phosphorus. So let me call him right now.
Hey Nova, I'm glad you brought up flushing. It's actually a really important topic of conversation when we're growing with salts and autopots. As many people know, autopots don't drain. They, in fact, save you a lot of money in your fertilizer water because the pots don't have, because you're not watering, 10 to 15% runoff and, blowing that runoff every single day. A lot of our pots kind of do retain some salts, and over time, that retention of salts and the salts kind of being dumped at the top of the pots contributes to some buildup in the pots. So what happens when we have buildup? The main things that I see in what, the big indication of buildup is you have something that looks like a calcium deficiency. Along with that calcium deficiency, you may have a yellowing plant or a not green like this plant. If your plant does not look like this, you're probably at the early stages of pH imbalance due to a nutrient toxicity from a buildup of nutrients at the top of your pots. I see this all the time. It is the number 1 cause of, hey man, what's up with my plant? And to many new growers, it does look like a calcium deficiency. You see you Google a calcium deficiency, you will see exactly what it looks like. But the thing is that's not the problem. The problem is your plant's locked out. It can't pick up the calcium so therefore it has a calcium deficiency. But with that, there's so much more going on. You have a pH imbalance from the nutrient imbalance. So when people come to me and they say, they show me a picture of the plant and it's like, hey, I have a calcium deficiency. I look at it and I'm like, I need to see the full picture and I need to know what you're feeding with. Now, mind you, I can't 100% diagnose a plant until I see the pH runoff EC numbers. Without those numbers, I can't tell you specifically X, this is X 100%. But when I look at a plant and I see a grower that has, calcium deficiency, and they also have leaves that are going to the side. See how my leaves are here? Let's see if I can pull it down in my hand. You see how my leaves here are straight down? When your leaves turn to the side, it indicates that you have a pH imbalance. So you have a pH swing in your root zone and you're about to have some problems. Now, if you don't catch that and you don't realize that and you just keep going, you're going to start to get like the calcium deficiency, right? And then so now your pH swung, now you're out of range, and now your root zone is just going absolutely crazy. A lot of growers make this mistake, and this is where they make it. They put calcium into their fert water. They add more, and that usually means they're adding more nitrogen, and it just begins this catalyst of events. So I always tell people, and this is what I teach and what I believe is, let's look at the plant, but let's take a look at your fertilizer. Let's take a look at your method. How are you mixing? How is everything going on? Because every little detail in a hydro grow matters, right? And a COCO is a hydro grow. In conclusion, I like to tell people, let's take a look at your fertilizer. Let's check your ppm. So let's make sure you actually need that calcium, because, if you're having a calcium deficiency and we see that, we know for a fact you're feeding 350 ppm to calcium, you do not have a calcium problem, period. Crazy thing I see, and while we're on the topic of this, is don't counteract don't try and counteract your pH in your pots with the pH in the rest. Do not do this, because it will put you in the fucking shadow realm and you will not come back. You will, but you know what I mean. So all in all, when you have issues in the autopots, when you have like these weird one-off things, It's because you're stacked up with nutrients and your pots are dirty and they need to be cleaned. You need to flush out the old nutrients and put some new nutrients. Now the process of that is, so 2.2 gallon right here, this is going to be 6 gallons. You could do 3 gallons fertilizer water and 3 gallon, you could do 3 gallons plain 6.0 water, or you could, and in addition to that, you could do 3 gallons fertilizer water 6.0 pH. What you don't want to, what you don't ever want to do just straight plain water, because then your plants don't have any nutrients in it. Usually just the straight plain water flush isn't necessary. Normally it's just like a quick, you have a pH swing, we're going to fix your nutrients, and that always calls for water, either straight water flush and then add nutrients in, or it's going to be a full nutrient flush, and we're just taking the shit, flushing it down, placing with new water. Think about a toilet. You flush it, flush the poop down, new fresh nice looking water comes in. So that's how it goes. So yeah, I'll keep going forever. I'm blazed to the gods. But yeah, I appreciate everybody that's following. I appreciate everybody that is in the ISGA. I appreciate anybody that asks questions. Novacotton, I made this video for you, but I kind of just rolled right through it and just took over. Damn. Appreciate you, brother.
I appreciate you, man. And that was it. Thank you so much. You can get more tips from him over at Pushing Phosphorus. Please follow me on Twitter. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Would really appreciate it. And I also have an Instagram. Please follow me there. And if you want any coupons or any information on the gear that I run, you can go ahead and see it at Linktree/Novacotton. I have all the coupons for acinfinity, Autopots, you name it, on my socials. Feel free to drop any comments or questions, and like always, keep on growing. See ya.